This morning, I'm super pleased to welcome Laura Rolph from Haddon Training. So they are a training provider which specialise in apprenticeships, specifically looking at sort of the outdoor world in terms of equine and kind of horsey stuff, and a few other bits and bobs as well. I'm not going to explain it too well, so I'm going to hand over to Laura to kind of to give you the lowdown in terms of what it is that they do.
Morning, everyone. So yeah, we are equine and animal care and business apprenticeship and training provider. I'll share my screen now so we can all see if it works. There we go. So the boring bits. I don't know how many of you are horsey. So you know, some of you might have seen some of these things before. Ofsted, we all love Ofsted in schools, don't we? We are an outstanding provider, so it ticks box there. Work with BHS and the NHS for the business side of it. What I'm going to do briefly, I'm not going to bore you with too much talking, but I'll go through traineeship and apprenticeships for each of the three areas that we work within. I will start with the one that I know, which is equine, horses, four-legged creatures that try to kill you. We work with three national governing bodies, so British show jumping, British dressage, British eventing. So there are three Olympic disciplines. We then work with careers in racing, so anyone who's interested in the racing side, we do that. Showing council, and then these are the apprenticeships that we offer. So we look at equine groom, senior equine groom, both of those within racing and non-racing, and you can do ridden and non-ridden apprenticeships, breeding, saddlery, and then I'll touch on the ACE and who's competing at a particularly high level, so XCSE level basically. And it's your starting point for those who maybe have not gotten much experience, who kind of like horses or might be interested in working within the industry, so maybe in a stables or livery yard or a competition yard, or as I say, it could be racing. And you can choose whether you do the ridden or non-ridden route there, so you don't have to ride the horses, you can actually look after them, do the yard management side.
Laura, can I just butt in there if that's okay? I've just got a message coming up in the chat from one of our tutor rooms, just wondering if you could get a little closer to the microphone or speak up a little.
Oh,
that's okay.
Okay, I'll try and talk louder. Senior equine groom it's a level 3 qualification, so that's kind of moving on to your A-level kind of standard. And that's if you've got more experience within the equine industry, or you've already done a level 2, or you've maybe gone to college and done an equine qualification there, and you're actually looking then to move into the work industry. Breeding, so if you are interested in looking at how foals are welcomed into the world, it's a huge market, plenty of money involved in that side for those that are keen on that. And saddlery, so we work with the National Saddlery Association, so making leatherwork, bridles, saddles. And then the last one is our ACE, so as I say, anyone out there who's competing in British eventing, dressage and show jumping and at a decent level, then you want to have a take a look at that, because that's all about you as an athlete with your horse, as opposed to horse care knowledge. Again, it's a level 3 qualification, and we've had some big names, anyone, as I say, horsing, big names have come through from doing that. Just a bit of a snapshot of some of the learners that we've worked with, because we do like to keep in touch on social with a lot of our learners who like share their journey. So anyone who's on Instagram or Facebook, which I'll get onto now, maybe take a look at our social pages, and you get a bit of a feel of what we do and how we share in successes with our learners. Some of the careers you could go into. So I'm a big believer that whatever you do, whatever qualification you do, it doesn't necessarily mean you are going to have to do that for the rest of your life. Incidentally, I started as a teacher, teaching. I then left that after 12 years and moved into working in British show jumping, so working within the sporting governing body, looking at coaching and training, and now I'm here. So although I did a teaching qualification, it's not what I've done for the rest of my life. So it's the same. You could end up doing an equine groom qualification, our apprenticeships, which are titled equine groom, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have to be a groom for the rest of your life. You might want to be, which is brilliant. You know, you don't have competition riders without decent grooms. However, it could be a stepping stone into many other industries within the equine industry. So, you know, consider that basically. The next one is our animal care. Now, I am going to be quite brief on this because it's not my area of expertise. I know a little. On the screen, hopefully that you can see, is a list of the apprenticeships we do. So we have animal care and welfare. That is basically looking at day-to-day, looking after the animals. It could be domestic ones, your cats, your dogs, working in catteries and clipping places. It's a good technical word, that, isn't it? Clipping places. Wild animals, working in teams, working in catteries, laboratories, animal welfare centres, farm parks, and we have recently started a partnership with Longleat, so working with them, and we've got apprentices already working at Longleat, which is really exciting, which is the keeper and aquarist apprenticeship. We are going to be starting on a dog grooming qualification soon, so anyone who's keen on doing that. Again, we've got breeding and rehab. So, you know, all of this, if you needed more information on each of these, so when you come in, you know, making your choices and you go, I'm really keen in animals, want to work with them, what is out there, have a look on our website, because I don't want to bore you with me just talking, but all the information on each of our apprenticeships is on there, and that will cover what skills and knowledge and kind of behaviours that you need to demonstrate. Again, just a snapshot of some careers and jobs that you could go into. Next one. And the last one is business, which is probably the least one I know about, but again, I'll give it a crack. So we've got 4 apprenticeship levels you could do. Now, I would imagine when you finish in year 11, you're going to be looking at a level 2 or a level 3, depending on what GCSE levels and grades you get. But a lot of our learners that start on a level 2 then progress up, do the level 3, and then move on to a level 5 for those that are wanting to go into a management position. Just slide that along. Not working. Business administration then. So you're going to be working independently, part of a team. You're looking at your administrative services, so answering calls, working on the computers. It might be taking orders if you're working in an industry like that. It's supporting your progression basically towards a management responsibilities. Most, as I say, we work with the NHS. They're our biggest providers. We work with Bournemouth University and a few others down there, as well as some smaller ones. So I'll get into in a minute how you can get into these jobs, but just cover that. So your GCSE requirements. Generally speaking, to get onto a level 2 or a level 3, you need grades 4 to 9. That doesn't mean that if you've not got that, we're going to close the door and go, no, you can't come in. To start in a level 2 program, we do say if you've got grade 4, brilliant, or above, excellent. If you haven't and you've got a grade 2 or a 3, then that's absolutely fine. You can still do an apprenticeship with us, but you would have to do functional skills alongside doing the apprenticeship. So you do that with English and maths. We've got our own functional skills tutors that would work with you to achieve that. That is part of the apprenticeship. It's not an add-on, so you would have to do that. And if you didn't pass that at the end of the apprenticeship, then unfortunately you would achieve the qualification. So it is important. It's not just something where you have to tick a box and jump through a hoop for. If you don't, if you're struggling, you've still not yet achieved your grade 2, say for example, then we can look at a traineeship. A traineeship is if you haven't got, as I say, you haven't got your GCSE at the level you need yet. You might not have much experience at all in the industry. You just kind of got a bit of a feeling that you want to do something maybe with equine or animal care, but you haven't got quite the level of experience we need. Then you can do a traineeship, and it's a bit of a try before you buy, a bit of a work experience type thing. and you get training on the job. You spend anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks, depending on what skills that you need to improve. We will work with you to do your maths and your English to get it up to a level where you can move on to a level 2 qualification, be that an apprenticeship or going on to college. And then you will also get kind of workplace skills and looking at developing your CV. So that is there for those that are not too sure, they might want to do it, might not, or those that haven't yet hit the GCSE results that they need. So when you're applying for the job, this is the key bit, and this is where I'm quite focused on this, is I see quite a lot of the applications that we get. And to be perfectly honest, they are not the greatest. They're a bit wishy-washy, for want of a better word. We have all our vacancies online, but you can get them anywhere. They're on the British Grooms Board. We have them on an apprenticeship directory. They're basically all over. Once you see a job that you want and you apply for it, and to be perfectly honest, this is not just for me, for Haddon Training. This could be literally for any job you are applying for. Think about where you specifically want to work. So if that is in the equine industry, what type of yard? Is it a show jumping yard? Is it a dressage yard? Is it racing? Is it a livery yard? If it's business, what area of business do you specifically want to work in? Because then if you put your details to an apprenticeship provider, a college or something like that, they can match you to the right job. I've seen too many people apply for 5 or 6, 7 different jobs within different areas, and well, I have no idea where I'm meant to match you. What are you interested in? A racing yard and a dressage yard are very different things, and we even have some who want to work as a dog groomer and in a stable yard. They're very different, and it makes it very difficult to match you to a job. The next one is include as much information as possible. So okay, the box or the space that you are to write in gives you an indication really on how much information we're looking for. 1 or 2 word answers is not going to cut it. We can't find you the best job available for you. So give us as much. What are you looking for? What skills have you got? I'll touch on those in a moment for each of the areas. Do your research. So find out what industry it is that you want to work in. If you found a vacancy or you found a yard that you want to work in, or a company, Google them, because believe me, they're going to be Googling you and checking up and seeing what you're like. So that might be a warning to clear up your social media if it's live and everyone can see it. Make sure you know about them, because if you do get through the vacancy stage and you go for a trial, you want to talk confidently about the place that you're going to. So you want to talk, why do you want to work there? If you know nothing about it, you're going to come unstuck. And then the last one, stand out for the right reasons. So you're applying for a job. It's no good just saying, oh, I'm hardworking, or, I get there on time. Everyone's going to say that. So what is it extra that stands you above the other person that's hardworking? Okay. What I'll do is just with the equine. So as I've already said, you don't necessarily have to have experience. It would help, and there would be more jobs available to you. But it might be that right now would be a good opportunity to go to your local riding school, livery yard, see if they would like to help, because volunteering massively helps. People like to see that you've volunteered your own time. It shows dedication. It shows that you're actually committed to wanting to work in that industry. Equally, you might volunteer and go, you know what, actually, I don't like trudging around in the mud and having to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and dealing with, dirty horses or filthy animals. So do some volunteering, find out about it. Get as much experience as you can, offer your assistance, view things, observe people in different industries, wherever it is. So get that work experience above and beyond what maybe your school offers. If it's business side, is there any kind of courses you could do online? Is there anything you can develop your skills that way? There's loads and loads of free courses out there. So it is, unfortunately, it is finding some little extra time to step you on to your career that you're going to be moving on to. So yeah, that pretty much sums up. As I say, we are on social media, so have a look on there if you want. It gives you a bit of a feel rather than just listening to me talking. You can see other things that we do. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I hope that's giving you enough.
Laura, that was brilliant. Thank you ever so much. So we've got got a minute or two before everybody needs to disappear. So very quickly, I'm just going to kind of pick up on a couple of things. Firstly, levels. You'd have heard Laura talk about levels there. So just to kind of, for those of you that might not be aware, level 2 is equivalent to a GCSE. Level 3 is equivalent to what you do in sixth form or to A levels or level 3 BTECs. Level 4 and above is basically moving on to kind of degree level or kind of further education level. A couple of things that I wanted to emphasize and what Laura was saying there as well was firstly, work experience. You year 10s, you're going to be doing your work experience this year. We're going to launch it in the next couple of weeks. And so kind of be on the lookout for that and start thinking about what you can actually do. So at the end of this year, you're going to be going out and doing some kind of work experience. It's a fantastic opportunity to make yourself stand out when it comes to college applications, job applications, and apprenticeship applications. So think carefully about the area that you want to go into and try and make sure you get some work experience that's in an area that's going to support you, not just kind of working in a random place, but somewhere that you want to work in and somebody that you're considering. The other key thing as well is in terms of applications, it's always worthwhile making sure you've got evidence. It's not enough to just say you are the best person for doing this. It's also tying into evidence in your life. So if you, for example, are saying, I'm the best ironer of shirts going, you need to evidence where it is you've been ironing shirts. We're going to have to leave it there, I'm afraid, Laura. Thank you. Huge amount from ourselves here. That's been a fantastic way to kind of start off the year. These recordings will be made available, and basically for those of you who missed it, thanks ever so much, folks.